Well, hello guys and welcome back to the Brad Group Stadium with me, Oliver Buck. As always, I'm joined by Mike Brown. Welcome, Mike.
Pleasure, Oliver, as per usual.
And it's time for another episode of the O Show Added Time. And we've got the Dream Team's Mr. Andrew Butler joining us today.
Hi,
welcome,
Ollie, how's
Andrew.
it going? All right.
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Nice.
Not too bad at all.
Now, I think we should start with Andrew because this lovely programme we've got in front of us here. It was designed by yourselves at the Dream
Designed by
Team.
us indeed, yeah. If I could talk you through it, do you want me to talk you through it?
Talk me through it. What's the...
Well, we went down a FIFA design,
Okay.
FIFA-inspired route, and because obviously to celebrate the fact that Orient are back on the game as well this
Nice.
season. FIFA 20 have been playing it quite a lot, and so yeah, that went into a lot of our thinking as we came to design it. So yeah, credit to the club for allowing us to do it, and I hope the fans enjoyed it as well.
Oh, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And just, before we get our teeth into the game, Andrew, it's obviously a new season. Your new series has come out for the love of the game.
Yes, yeah. So we've looked this season. We've got a series called "Football Is Everything," and it's essentially looking at loads of different aspects of football, from the fans to the players, and just essentially why we love it, but also just like loads of different issues as well. And throughout it, the driving forces are going to be people from Orient. So Joby McAnuff's going to feature in every episode, and then the episode that's just come out today, it's got Ada Martin, the kit man, and there's a couple of fans in there that I'm sure a lot of people watching this will recognise from coming down here week after week. So nice. Yeah, it's exciting, and check it out on YouTube. It's all available there basically.
And of course, Andrew, have you got any more light that you can shed about what Dream Team could be offering to the fans in the near future? Obviously, there were a few incentives last year. Is there anything they can expect?
Yeah, we're looking to respin on a few of those ideas as well. So it's in our thinking to put on a couple of coaches to an away match later on in the season. A few ticket giveaways over the course of the year. Might even see the free beer return as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's stop looking towards the future and let's kind of have a look at this afternoon's action. We took on Carlisle here at the Brad Group Stadium, and it came off the back of two pretty tough, long away games. But we started in electric form, didn't we?
Yeah, the energy shown in that first half was pretty phenomenal when you consider, like you said, the two long trips, especially the Gruler at Tuesday night as well. After unfortunately a heavy defeat, but to show that sort of character in the first half coming out, I thought it was really encouraging. All types of pressing, play down both wings, not just the one, and some of the football at times was just an absolute joy to behold.
That's what I was thinking, Andrew. The football we were playing, the way we were knocking the ball around, some of the diagonals we were playing, they were some pretty decent quality, weren't they?
It was brilliant. I thought every player was kind of almost performing at a 9 out of 10 in the first half. It says a lot when you come in at half time, and when the opposition, you can't notice anything that they've done.
Yeah.
I came in at half time and it was just like, well, what did Carlisle offer? It should be a breeze in the second half. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and it became fairly clear at the start of the second half that it wasn't going to be because of their equaliser. But the first half was absolutely brilliant. Like, the energy was phenomenal. The opportunities we were creating, Brophy down that left hand side with Widdowson as well, creating so much. They would have counted themselves incredibly fortunate to come in at half time only 1-0 down.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It felt almost unfortunate for us that we didn't have a 2-goal advantage. It really didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the play was excellent. For all the good play we did have and the possession of the ball we did have, only 4 shots in the first half alone, 2 on target. I think we should have really capitalised more on the opportunity we had. But the free-flowing football we showed was a joy to behold. Just a real shame we didn't capitalise and maybe 2-3 up at half time. But it's encouraging. That first half is encouraging, definitely.
And it's kind of no surprise that we didn't maintain that 45 for the full 90 going into the second half. But looking at the starting lineup, I expected more changes personally. I think it was just George Marsh who came in the place of Dale Gorman.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're working with a slightly tighter squad just because of the injuries. On any other day, like Turley might be coming back fairly soon. Marvin's having to play like right back, and Juddy's on the bench, but Lingy's also about like a week away as well. So, and then up front, Angle's still out, Wilkinson's still out. So I think the formation actually worked like really, really well. I was quite impressed with the way that Harold holds the line up top on his own, and like we do have a really, really dynamic midfield. Like when they were all working together, and Carlisle just didn't come close to us in the first half. So I was quite pleased with the way that we set up. Quite happy with it. Yeah.
Nice, and obviously, Mike. Now looking towards that second half, it's probably the lesser of the halves.
Yeah.
Where do you think it kind of maybe? Where do you think the direction changed in that second half? Where do you think it didn't keep going Orient's way?
Slow starting, if I'm honest. Really slow starting. I said to people at half time, I said Carlisle will take absolute encouragement, only being 1-0 down at half time, and I think that definitely showed second half. They were obviously still in the game, and they started really brightly, and obviously got the goal early in the second half, and I think they pressed us a lot more. They didn't press us a whole lot in the first half. They managed to get the press going, and they caused us all a lot. But everything we was doing in the first half, they did to us in the second half, and we found it quite difficult to overcome that. And it took a real defensive effort to really keep Carlisle out.
It felt as though that came about kind of the 60th, 65th minute, and you don't want to make excuses, but if you're a professional footballer, the miles they would have had to cover over the past 2 away games in the space of 5 days, it would take its toll on anyone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really tough. And I've not been a professional footballer in my life. I wish I had, but it's something that you hear time and time again from players, that it's just sort of, you can't really put your finger on it, but there is something about going away and then going away again on the Tuesday, and then having to, you don't have much time in training in between those. Martin Ling was saying before the game that essentially it's like 4 out of the 7 days. Last 7 days of basically being on the coach, so it's not ideal, but it is something that you have to do as part and parcel of being part of professional football. But I think that the second half, it was sort of the stuff that we were doing so well in the first half just wasn't quite coming off. Like the conditions were getting, I think, progressively worse over the course of the game, but it was also the touches just off the tip of the foot were like going that extra yard, and so they were nicking in, and like that sort of stuff just wasn't quite coming off. I don't think there wasn't many negatives. Carlisle, their goal was soft. Let's be honest, it was a soft goal. I think everyone will be disappointed in the manner of the goal, but it's sort of if that doesn't go in, or if they blaze it over the bar, or that opportunity doesn't happen at all, I think we come away with it with 1-0 win anyway.
I did want to come on to Carlisle's goal, because we've spoken about Orient's good football, but the defending maybe for that equaliser, it's something Carl Fletcher, it's coming in as a new gaffer, something you'd want to stamp out pretty quickly, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've made a couple of good blocks. You just need that little bit of luck to see the block go out for a corner, or just go out to one of your own defenders. But it's fallen to them 3 times in one period, and unfortunately the third one is nestled in the back of the net. But it is football, When you're up there, then blocks will go here, there, and everywhere, and they'll fall to your own team and clear. But unfortunately for us, today, Carlisle benefited from it, really.
And we do kind of, if we look towards the 90th minute, Carl Fletcher's end of his second game, first home game in charge, he wouldn't be overly disappointed, really, with that point, would he?
No, not at all. And we're now only 1 defeat in 6. I know that it feels like it doesn't feel like it's only been 1 defeat in 6, because you lose 4-0 away, and if that feels like a bigger defeat, it almost feels like
if we'd have won that, people would be singing from completely different.
But if you look at our form, this is a draw that potentially should have been a win. Yeah. But it's been the story of the season as well. I think I can't remember who it was, but a couple of weeks ago, someone from the club said virtually every game this season, apart from was it Swindon at home, could have been a win, draw, or a loss. Yeah. And that's again the same today. We could have won it, we drew it, but we also if it hadn't been our day, we could have lost it. So it's just one of those games that I think it's probably 2 points dropped. They will probably think it's a point gained for them, but there's no major cause for concern. I always look at performance rather than points.
Yeah.
I do look at points later on in the season, but there's quite a few positives to take, and the players did look tired, so it's not as if they were leaving anything out on the pitch.
No, exactly. Yeah, you got to look at the month. It's been a positive month, a really positive month as well, especially with the managerial change, Carl coming in. It's a good month.
Well, because this is the thing I was going to say. We were talking about there, where they've spent probably 3 or 4 days on the coach out of the last 7. It's also coincided with Carl coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been at the training ground. I don't know how much time he's actually been able to spend training with them.
It's about 2.5 hours, you say. So.
I mean, what's that in the grand scheme of things? That he's going to be now looking for the next week. You've got a week off. We've got Morecambe away on Saturday.
Yeah.
But we've got a nice 5-day period.
Exactly.
To train. It's going to be a chance for him to really get his teeth into the squad, isn't it?
No midweek interruptions. No spending 4 or 5 hours on the road at a time, or 10 hours, 20 hours, 10, 5 there, 5 back. And on that training pitch, working on your defensive shape or whatever tactics you want to implement into this team, and I think we'll probably see a different Orient come Morecambe.
Yeah, we've got an interesting period now actually, because we've got Morecambe away, which could be quite a tricky fixture, and like if we can get a draw or a win, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Exactly,
but then we go into that run of games where we've got Brighton here in the Leasing.com trophy, and then we've got the FA Cup fixture.
Yeah.
So in reality, I'm sure the coaching staff will be looking at it going, look, let's get ready for Morecambe, have a look at our cup fixtures, but we've basically got only 2 league games in the next 3 weeks. So it's a good amount of time that Carl's got to get his ideas across. Yeah.
Well, boys, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure, Mike. As
Pleasure,
always,
Oliver. Thank you.
And thank you very much for joining us,
Cheers,
Andrew.
mate. Nice one.
As always, thank you to you guys at home for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of the O Show. Added Time.